What's up, Liron here, and today I'm giving you an updated tour of my studio. What's up, Liron here. Thank you for joining me in another video. I'm recording this using my iPhone, but I will try to keep it as non-shaky as possible so that no one turns dizzy. This is my studio here. Now it's finally all organized and nice looking, and I thought it would be a good time to give you a tour. I already did a quick tour for the Patreon supporters, and now I want to share it with everyone, so here we go. I'm gonna give you a quick panoramic view of the room, and here we have a window, so that's where it ends. And then I'm gonna go all the way back, and then I'm gonna flip the camera and show you some of the different elements of the room. I really want to thank you, before I even get started with the next part, everyone who recommended that I build this room out of necessity and really take my time with it and not hurry too much to put stuff that I won't need. And it's not a huge space, so also keeping it quite, let's say, as empty as possible. I did pack in everything I need, but not more than that. So I'm gonna start giving you the tour, but I just wanted to thank you so much for your support and kind words. I actually used your advice, and I'm very happy with the results so far. So let me show you what I've got here. So this is the door. There's a sticker I have to remove here that it rips the paint off, so I postponed it a bit. Here I've got my main shelves for placing everything I need. So I have some nice decorations. I have a few things I need to organize still there, so it's not perfect. Top shelf is just some decos and nice things like this. Here I've got tons of sketchbooks, and let me show you. I'm gonna do a proper, like, multiple sketchbooks video, I think, but for now, so I have all my manga books here, and from here all the way to here are all sketchbooks from the last 3 or 4 years, I believe. So it's about 16 sketchbooks. Then I have a few art books, books about drawing, sketching. And remember that I told you I have a morning writing routine, so I actually have this notebook here as well. And the current one I'm using, if you're following me on Instagram, you probably saw it as well. So it's this one. So this is it in terms of this area. Now, I do have a lot of art supplies that I don't necessarily use on that regular of a basis, so I decided to put them in here. Look at me pointing with my leg, with my foot. So there are quite a few things here I don't use as much, and these are some brushes I don't use a lot. This smaller palette, I use it more outside, but now I'm very happy with the one I have, so I don't get it to use as much. I have a few paints for cloth and fabric and leather that I got in the past. Here I have my watercolor tubes, the ones that I use less frequently. I'm going to show you the ones I use more frequently. Back there I have a few acrylic paints, schminke paints that I take out of there, put them and then back in here, some office supplies, camera, some other decorations, and business related stuff in this folder. And then down here I have paintings and stashes, and I need to reorganize this area as well. So next up we have the art station. This is what I want to show you next. So I have my tripod here with this nice improvisation. I will improve it with time, but for now it's more than good enough for my needs. So I basically put the GorillaPod on top of that tripod. That way I have more range. I will just buy a different pole that's a little longer, I guess, and place it here. And here I record myself painting. This is a smaller piece of thing. I usually use the larger one that you see here. I'm gonna get to this area in a moment. So this is where I paint. I've got my water bucket here. Some of the things I don't have here because they're in my backpack because I took them outside yesterday to paint, but in any case, my palette, pencils, and pen and ink. Okay, so this is how I organized it. I actually found out that I have a remote control for my Sony Handycam camera, which is super useful because I don't have to press the camera and then it shakes a bit. Do you see this constellation? I can just press this and it starts recording. So this is really convenient. A few test papers almost ran, I mean, they're almost done. I'm gonna throw them soon, but I have a lot more. I'm gonna sit down and show you what I've got here in the folders. So top here I've got the tubes I use more frequently. Remember I showed you here, less frequently used tubes, more frequently used tubes. This here has a few other things, so more pencil and pen related. We've got the test papers here. leads, some things for inking, but then I have this M-gram set, and I really want to thank Nathan Dixon for sending me these, including this quinacridone rust that I promised to review soon and fill up the new palette that I got with, that you can actually see over here in the package. It's just a smaller palette. So thank you so much, Nathan. I will review these. I know it's been a while, but I was waiting for the proper setup to do it. And lots of test papers, always useful. Scrap paper to use. Here I have everything that has to do with cutting, taping, and hanging, and also some masking fluid that I rarely ever use, but it's really useful for cutting watercolor paper, for taping things around, for framing stuff. I've got these very useful stuff here for hanging up frames, just for anything like that. I have this stool that's super comfortable, by the way. I use that when I paint, and I use this one when I work. I'm going to show you in a moment. Next up, we have this. This is where I work, so this is the chair. I actually found this one. This is a bit destroyed. I'm gonna get a new one, but it was down in the street and it was in perfect shape, so I just picked it up. And office, like, people throw valuable stuff in the street in Tel Aviv all the time, so you can find really useful stuff there. Like for sofas and stuff like that, they could be a little disgusting. So this one is from from the previous apartment. I didn't find this one, but for this, it's really cool. It works perfectly here. So this is where I work on anything that has to do with video editing and the business side of things, marketing. And the newest purchase I got was this. Arm for my mic, so now I don't have to do a weird setup that I showed you. Like, I had a really awkward thing where I put a pile of books, put the small tiny tripod of the mic on top of it, and it would be terrible, and I'll still have to be hunched over. This is perfect. Also got a pop filter. That's nice, a nice touch, not a must. I've been doing everything without it for like the last year or so, but in any case, this is really comfortable, and I can just move it and put it wherever I want. So this will definitely improve the production quality of videos that make use of this, such as the Painting Master, such as anything, the podcasts, anything I use the microphone for, it's going to be perfect. Here it's just another thing I got for students. So if someone wants to paint next to this desk, or just for me, just to have another station, you can control the angle. So that's really good. With this table, you can already control the angle, so you don't need any special setup. Finally, I have my skateboard here that I barely use, and this poster I found. Remember, I found this one outside too. And this brings us to the sofa. We weren't sure if we were gonna keep it here, but I love it. And it's so comfortable, and when I need to think or something, I just lay down here and I'm able to concentrate. There's a nice view from the outside, and you can see the sky. So that's a nice little touch. And here I have my guitar. I said maybe one day I will play some for you, but I'm not that good really. I'm just more of a campfire guitar player, I guess. Here I have my, this is just new paper, Saunders Waterford, and here I have all of my portfolio and different works in this little thing. Here I've got some business receipts, notebooks, stuff that are really incredibly boring. And this is basically it. So let me flip the camera and talk a bit more and wrap it up. So this is it. Now you can feel at home. There's great light from the outside because there's no direct sunlight. It's actually reflecting from the building that's in front of me. Let me show you. Here we go. So I get to have really good light in here most of the daytime. I placed this table here so that I can paint and the light will cast away from my hand so that you can see what I'm doing. Everything here I put quite a bit of thought into, so hopefully that works out nicely. I have to say that, and I knew that I'm expecting to have a studio, I'm waiting for the experience, and I knew that it's not necessarily gonna make things, it's not gonna give me motivation per se, but it does make work processes easier. It's much easier to just pull out this thing and start recording. It's much easier to have the tripod already standing. Imagine like, and it's really good. It doesn't have to be big. It could be small and humble, and that's great. The one thing that's important for me, at least, because I do it every single day, it's not a hobby, it's my work. The one thing that's important for me is the ability to have everything prepared and just get started. And I think it increases the motivation a bit as well. It increases the accessibility. It's just very comfortable. So I'm really thankful and grateful for this place. And I want to thank you who supported me for all this time through just building myself up slowly here on YouTube and in different platforms, and I'm slowly, like, I'm still nothing in the grand scheme of things, but I'm working towards being able to impact and reach more and more people and be able to help more people. I really do want to help inspire others to create with courage and passion. Whenever I hear someone's something stopping someone from doing what they love, it immediately ignites me, and I have to talk about it and try at least to help. And hopefully my videos have that extra impact of not just showing you how I do things, but also the mindset behind it, which I find to be incredibly important. So with that being said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate all of your support, and I will see you again in another vid real soon. Take care.